Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Remember Me Daily Readings for Lent. And let me just start reading and then we'll have a talk, all right? This is for Monday after the fourth Sunday in Lent. Blessed is the soul which frequently considereth the last hour, when all must be ended in this life, joys or sorrows, honors and reproaches. Happy the soul that is as a poor pilgrim traveling towards God, that despiseth all the pomp of the world, however great and enticing. For in that last hour all shall perish, cities, castles, villages, vessels of gold and silver, all dainty meats and flowers, cups of smelling wine. Then shall be dumb the lyre, trumpet, pipe, and harp. Then shall be no more sport nor mirth, no more dance or loud applause, no more songs nor merry laughter, no more the sound of revelry in the streets or bower. For the hearts of all living shall fail, and the whole earth shall tremble at the presence of God. Oh, how wise is he that daily considereth these things! Blessed is he that of his own desire keepeth himself away from the many snares and dangers of the world. Blessed is he that watcheth day and night against temptation. For so long as the soul is united to the body, and the body is nourished with the fruit of earth, man cannot be exempt from sin, nor free from temptation, nor assured that he may not fall. There is nothing that endureth, nothing that abideth on this earth, of which the body of Adam and his sons were formed. Then in all thy works, whatever they may be, wherever thou goest, to what place soever thou proceedest, remember the end of life and the last hour, which shall come at a time thou thinkest not. This was by Thomas A. Kempis. And then lastly, he who has made you what you are has the right to require that you should be holy is. And this is from St. Augustine. So, very hectic day for me. Almost got to a point to not recording this episode because that's how busy I was. But I'm happy to be here with you guys, and I'm happy to go over this stuff. Whoever is watching, whether the present or in tomorrow, just want to say hello. This is Remember Me, daily readings for Lent. We're past the halfway point, and I guess maybe before I start with my notes, I just want to say that so far, halfway through Lent, it's been very fruitful, actually. Maybe I gotta dose up my penance for next Lent, but I've actually been living in somewhat peace. Not dealing. I've been off social media, and I haven't really been. Um, yeah, I've been peaceful. I'm pretty much ignorant about world events. I know there's stuff going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in terms of like Catholic drama online or anything like that. I don't know. All I have are like YouTube videos that I'm watching. Usually, yeah, I'm just watching debates and stuff. I don't know anything what's going on. I don't know what's going on within the lives of my acquaintances, most of my family. I'm pretty much isolated, and it's been really good to kind of, going back on the subject. It's been good for me because I haven't really had that much temptation. I'm not gonna lie, there has been some, but it's very few and far between. And I've been able to keep myself relatively at peace. I went to a church mission for a week. In the previous episodes, I think I was talking about that. But I had gone and I did a general confession. If you haven't done that, please do so. But I've done it and I have a sort of peace right now. I was talking about, being on maximum humility right now. And that's where I am. I try not to feel so haughty, anything like that. But it's been a very fruitful Lent. Better than last year, I would say. Um, Less suffering than 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago I suffered a lot, but this year I have, yeah, I've really been growing spiritually. This is probably the most spiritually fulfilling Lent that I've had for as long as I've been taking the Catholic faith seriously and Lent seriously. This has been the most spiritually fruitful uh, that spiritually fruitful stuff that um, let me say it, spiritually fruitful Lent is possible. So, with further ado, let's just talk about the notes that I wrote for this because I did write notes for this. This wasn't last minute, but anyway, blessed is the soul which frequently considereth the last hour. Happy the soul that is as the poor pilgrim traveling towards God. Blessed is he that watcheth day and night against temptation. So, without getting too political, because it's not about that, right? This stuff reminds me of not that he was a Catholic or ever was, but it reminds me of like Charlie Kirk. Obviously, I'm not praising the spiritual life that he lived because he lived in error. But I wanted to touch upon his death, right, and the how how instantaneous it was, right? Someone like him, like Charlie Kirk, for example, like that day that day that he was shot. He woke up, normal day, had a normal breakfast, looking through his phone like everybody else, had to go to his talks, did it his normal day. It was an everyday thing. He did not know it was the last day of his life, and had he known, maybe he would have rethought some stuff, some positions he held, some stuff that he was doing, some things that he thought. Maybe he would have changed when it came to that, right? And you know that stuff that he did or didn't do in this case that maybe he should have done. But to bring it back to the Catholic faith, you don't know when your last day is. I don't know when my last day is. We don't know. And I've been trying to do better and better to kind of to really try to live life day by day, right? I There was one chapter, a couple of readings before talking about how we shouldn't really be paying attention to tomorrow, right? And it's exactly what Christ said. There are enough problems today to not worry about tomorrow, and yeah, um, we should just worry about today. Our goals as Catholics is to try to survive the day, right? Try to live the day as holily as possible. Try to resist temptation. Try to pray as much. Try to be like always be around God, right? Of course, there's the maximum expression of being around God, which is being close to close to the Blessed Sacrament. But unfortunately, we have lives, and as much as we would like to spend the rest of our lives next to the Blessed Sacrament, we do have to venture out into the world, and that's when we get attacked. But we should think about these things. We should think about the last four things, right? Which is, if I remember, it's death, judgment, hell, and purgatory. Right? We should think about those things all the time. We should think about those things, and maybe like death is not something that Catholics like to think upon, but it is something that we should be doing because even myself today, I could eventually not finish this whole series, finish this whole goal that I had. I could eventually not do it. Unfortunately, we don't know. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, and I personally, I mean, this video is more about myself than talking to you guys or trying to advise you guys, but I need to start thinking of that. And it's only recently, since coming back from the mission, that I had really thought about that. To really, maybe it's some of the graces that I got from the general confession, but I really do got to think about that. I really do got to think about like this could be my last day on earth, and it could be anyone's, right? And we want to be close to God. Want to get general. We want to do confessions. Some people say do it once a month. I say do some people say 2 weeks if possible. Should probably do it every week. I try to do it every week because I feel like I read in the Didache that you have to be clean if you plan on receiving the Eucharist. I can't quote you specifically where I got it, but I took advice from that. If that's what the apostle said, I was probably going to follow it. Like venturing off, like I remember I was in this group of Catholics who pray the Rosary in Latin at the Basilica de Guadalupe, and they were talking about confession, and I had said like, well, I do confession personally like once every week, and I get this long thing. Well, actually, you're not supposed to be doing it, and it's like, guys, guys, you know, with all due respect to your priest, because in all due respect, it's like, yeah, you might have a priest that tells you that's not necessary, but I'm reading it straight from the apostles themselves. They said to do that. So, as much respect as I have for the priest, I'm gonna take the side of the apostles. So, going back, like, yes, yeah, confess every week if you can. But let's keep moving. Uh, for so long as the soul is united to the body, and the body is nourished with the fruit of the earth, man cannot be exempt from sin, nor free from temptation, nor assured that he may not fall. So, we're imperfect, right? We have our imperfections, and we have to make sure that we are near God or as close as God as we possibly can. We shouldn't be focusing too much on what the world has to offer, because everything the world has to offer is a lie, right? Let me see. And remember, at the end of life, at the last hour, which uh, shall come at a time thou thinkest not. So going back to what I was saying about Charlie Kirk, like, we don't know. And that's an example. That's, even if he wasn't Catholic, that's an example, a general example of, we don't know when our last day is. So the best thing that we can do is be close to God, make use of the sacraments, confess on a regular basis, pray. If you can pray more, pray more. If you can receive more from earth, from the world, do it, because this world has nothing to offer. All this world has to offer is just disgusting stuff, smut, and blasphemies. That's all it has, really, generally speaking. So we have to keep away from ours. If that means we're going to have to sacrifice something of our personal life, hey, what's a little sacrifice to go to heaven, right? But with that being said, um, I hope you guys' Lent's going well. I'll pray for you guys, and I hope you guys pray for me. And until the next episode, take care, and God bless.